The Galactic War Council convened in the fortress moon of Kepler 438c, its obsidian chambers echoing with the clatter of weapons and the harsh breathing of a dozen species preparing for the inevitable bloodbath. For 3 solar cycles, the coalition had been locked in a bitter territorial dispute with the Zephyrian Empire, and diplomacy had reached its final frayed end. General Vextar of the Krillian Dominion slammed his four-armed fist onto the holographic battle plans, his chitinous exoskeleton gleaming under the war room's crimson lights. "The humans arrive in 6 rotations," he growled, mandibles clicking, with anticipation. "Their reputation precedes them. Ruthless warriors, cunning strategists, masters of orbital bombardment. With their fleet, we can finally crush the Zephyrians once and for all." Admiral Zephus, the insectoid commander of the Hive Collective, buzzed in agreement. "The humans' warships are legendary. The Battle of Proxima Centauri, the Siege of Wolf 359, they leave nothing but debris fields in their wake." Commander Thiel of the Aquatic Union rippled her translucent fins nervously. "Are we certain we want to unleash such violence? The humans are known to be excessive in their methods." "Excessive?" General Vextar's laugh was like grinding metal. "Perfect. The Zephyrians will finally learn the price of challenging our coalition." The assembled war leaders continued their grim preparations, requisitioning fusion bombs, plasma cannons, and antimatter torpedoes. Each species contributed their most devastating weapons technologies. The Krillians brought their flesh-melting acid sprayers. The Hive Collective offered their swarm missiles that could devour entire star systems. The Aquatic Union reluctantly provided their tsunami generators capable of drowning continents. When the human delegation finally arrived, the War Council expected to see battle-scarred admirals in gleaming armor, perhaps carrying exotic weapons of mass destruction. Instead, 3 humans in simple gray uniforms walked into the chamber, led by a small, elderly woman with kind eyes and silver hair. "I am Dr. Elena Vasquez," she said softly, her voice somehow carrying clearly through the vast chamber without amplification. "These are my colleagues, Dr. James Chen and Dr. Amara Okafor. We're here to help resolve your conflict." General Vextar's mandibles twitched in confusion. "Where are your weapons? Your battle plans? Your fleet commanders?" Dr. Vasquez smiled, gently. "We brought something more effective." She gestured to her companions, who began unpacking what appeared to be books, data tablets, recording devices. "Stories," Dr. Chen explained, adjusting his glasses. "We brought stories." The War Council erupted in bewildered protests. Commander Thiel's fins fluttered anxiously. "Stories? We're on the brink of galactic war, and you bring literature?" Dr. Okafor stepped forward, her voice warm but firm. "Before we discuss violence, perhaps we should understand why this conflict began. General Vextar, would you tell us about your homeworld?" "My homeworld?" The general's forearms crossed defensively. "What does that have to do with—" "Humor us," Dr. Vasquez said, settling into a chair as if preparing for a long conversation. "We have time." Something in her tone, patient, genuinely interested, seemed to disarm the fierce Krillian warrior. Reluctantly, he began describing Krillos Prime, its crystal caves, the way the binary suns created rainbow patterns in the mineral formations, how his people had evolved in the deep caverns, developing their multiple limbs to navigate complex tunnel systems. Dr. Chen nodded thoughtfully. "Fascinating. And Admiral Zephus, your collective, you mentioned coming from a hive structure. What was it like growing up in such a community?" Before she knew it, the insectoid admiral was describing the intricate social bonds of her people, their emphasis on cooperation, the way they communicated through complex pheromone patterns that created a collective consciousness spanning entire worlds. One by one, Dr. Vasquez and her colleagues drew out the stories of each species, their histories, their cultures, their fears, their hopes. Commander Thiel spoke of her people's ancient migration across the galaxy's oceanic worlds, following currents of cosmic radiation like celestial tides. The reptilian delegate from the Saurian Republic described their elaborate honor codes and the poetry they carved into their own scales. Hours passed. The weapons displays remained untouched. Instead, the chamber filled with something unprecedented, understanding. Now, Dr. Vasquez said finally, let's talk about the Zephyrians. Admiral Zephys, you've called them monsters, but what do you actually know about their culture? The Admiral's buzzing grew quieter. They expand aggressively. They take territory. Dr. Okafor consulted her tablet. According to our research, the Zephyrians are nomadic by nature. Their homeworld was destroyed by a stellar collapse centuries ago. They've been searching for a new permanent home ever since, moving from system to system because they have no choice. The silence in the chamber was profound. Dr. Chen continued, their aggressive expansion appears to be desperate migration. They're not conquerors, they're refugees. General Vextar's chitinous plates shifted uncomfortably. But they attacked our mining stations. After you established mining operations in their temporary settlements, Dr. Vasquez noted gently. Imagine if someone started mining in your crystal caves without asking permission. The realization rippled through the War Council like a shockwave. Commander Thiel's fins drooped. We never asked why they needed those systems. Dr. Okafor smiled sadly. Humans have a saying. Every villain is the hero of their own story. But the truth is there are no villains here. Just people. Different species but still people. Trying to survive and protect what they love. Dr. Chen pulled up a holographic display showing star charts. There are 17 uninhabited systems within 50 parsecs that could support Zephyrian colonies. Systems rich in the minerals they need, far from your territories. We could help them relocate, Commander Thiel said slowly, her voice filled with wonder at the possibility. My people have experience with long-distance migrations. We could guide them. General Vextar's forearms uncrossed. The Krillian Dominion has terraforming technology. We could help them establish new worlds. Admiral Zephys buzzed with growing excitement. The collective's ships could transport their population safely. Dr. Vasquez stood, packing away her simple recording devices. This is what humans do best, she said quietly. Not warfare, though we're capable of it when necessary. Our greatest weapon has always been our stories, the ability to see others, not as enemies, but as characters in their own epic tales, struggling with the same fundamental desires for safety, belonging, and purpose. 3 days later, the first joint rescue fleet departed for Zephyrian space. The War Council had become a refugee assistance coalition. The weapons meant for destruction were repurposed for construction and defense. And in the archives of the Galactic Peace Institute, Dr. Elena Vasquez filed her final report. Humanity's contribution to galactic diplomacy remains unchanged. We listen to stories, we share stories, and we remember that every species in the galaxy is just trying to write their own happy ending. The war that never came would be remembered as the day the universe learned that sometimes the most powerful weapon is simply asking, "Tell me about your home."